Producer.
Yes!
Right on, Roman. Extra Pokemon.
Christmas comes again!
As the show goes on, how do you pick these events? How do you pick these specific events in history?
Very good question. One of the first things we do is we try to figure out what emotional stories we want to tell with these characters. And then we start looking for what the historical...
One of those characters being the absolutely beaming mom right now. That's my voice.
Exactly. No, for instance, our season finale took place in the McCarthy era and dealt with Lucy, discovering that her grandfather, who she never knew, was a gay man, and so figuring out the story that we wanted to tell, and we want her to sort of meet her grandfather. Who would that be? What era? But to take the whole idea of what it was like to be closeted in the 1950s and say, oh well, McCarthyism was going on around then. Let's if we built the story around that era. It's usually much better to do that than to try to pick a historical event first and then try to create the story around it. We can and may have done that a couple of times, but I think the best episodes come from when we're really trying to tell the best emotional stories, and then we find what fits best.
I was going to end on him, because that's a pretty damn good question. But you know what, sir, and then ma'am at the back there.
Hey guys, Chris from AfterBuzz. Just wanted to say hi to y'all. Yeah, good to see you, Malcolm. What's up, Chris? I was trying to figure out what was different. I saw no facial hair.
Shaved.
Yeah. Question for the producers.
Yeah, that's Chris.
Let's see. There's actually two questions. Number one.
Hold on, two questions? Yeah, one question, two producers.
All right. Have you guys thought of going to the future? Is that something in the next story arc or the next season?
I don't see us going to the future anytime soon. For a lot of reasons, but one, it's like logistic, which is like the future almost never looks good on TV.
Right.
The future almost never looks good.
It's always raining.
Well, it's always raining, and like people have like those like bullshit hubcaps on their cars, with like silvery hubcaps, and but I also I think it's really important to us that the show is fact-based. And we see ourselves much more as like a historical drama than we do a science fiction show.
Plus you have to fire the historian.
Right.
Yeah,
you can hire a futurist.
And hire a
That's just
futurist.
so expensive.
Oh, that hurts. But so no, I think we always want our stories to be like fact-based and to always be relying on something that the audience can look up and relate to. So I don't think we'll ever. I never say never, but I don't think we'll be going to the future anytime soon.
Not Back to the Future. Matt, you're our last question of the night.
Make it count.
With your camera.
I am. This is from Malcolm.
Oh, boom.
You're excellent.
I love you too. And this show is awesome. I totally love it. You guys do time travel the best that I've seen.
Oh wow,
Thanks. My question is, with this episode that just was on, which is my new favorite, the elephant in the room, where Ian Fleming said, spies are supposed to blend in. Mm-hmm. When you have all these episodes where basically you don't blend in, how does that work for you? Do you think you guys have really nailed it on every episode?
Yeah, we nailed it every single time. Excellent question. Thank you for showing off the timeless. It's a tricky thing because I think in a lot of ways we're threading the needle. We're doing things that haven't been done in terms of telling stories that haven't been done. And at the same time, I think probably with the pilot, we probably hit him over the head and went, hey, this is incredibly difficult, not only for someone who doesn't want to leave the room, but for someone who has to go black into a time period that wasn't always friendly to African Americans or minorities in general. So I think after that, we established that, and I think through there we try and finesse our ways and way in which we deal with all of those problems, and the way we deal with my journey, her journey, everyone's journey. We all sort of go like, how do we show how we've changed, and how do we show who we are today? And I think, we do our best to just weave and bob and weave through all these stories, and I love how my character has grown, because there are times where he definitely takes ownership and times where I think he understands and has to take a step back, and I think what's beautiful about that is we show the errors in judgment of who we are in recent times and who we are, and I think it makes it very real for us, and I think it opens the door to have conversations that are oftentimes very uncomfortable.
Which episode was the most difficult for you to do?
There wasn't a particularly difficult episode. I mean, there are ideas that I sometimes have, and there are ideas that we trade along, and I think we figure it out in between. You know, not every idea makes it to the final cut, and not every idea I have is great. Most of them are. But we just figure it out at the end.
Thank you guys.